So we are now streaming live on Facebook and Zoom. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for coming along. Thank you to Nigel, who is tonight my guest for the School of Conscious Evolution. And I must say, what an honor to have Nigel. I have met Nigel a while ago, and we have also attended some courses for trance healing, but Nigel is more experienced, and I'm quite of a it's a new experience for me, trance healing. Thank you for, we've got some joiners. So we thank Kate and Emily. And as I'm connecting with Facebook on my phone, so that I can monitor the chat. There you go, there. I can monitor the chat and people joining us on the other app as well. So, Nigel, you have been my guest before at the very beginning of my adventure. And, what a journey has been so far. And thank you for coming back, because what the most of the comments and feedback I had was how much people loved your meditation. And tonight I want to do something slightly different. So we will be talking, we will have the topic for tonight is actually angels, earth angels, and experiencing spirit on a day-to-day basis. We can all at some point in time have felt that there was a loved one from spirit around us, so we will talk about that as well. So Nigel, what has been your experience or around feeling spirit around yourself from the very early age?
Very early age. Well, good evening, everybody. And thank you, Daniela, for asking me to come back. It's always a pleasure to work for spirit. No matter what the outcome is, as long as we're here to help people and, say what spirit wants us to say, right? And, thank you for the nice words and comments about my meditation previously. One thing I'm very good at doing with meditations is putting people to sleep. So I must be very boring, right?
Not really, because it is a journey, really. And this is why it's so beautiful when you talk with your soothing voice. I've had a few meditations while you were running them, and I find them very soothing and very healing, because there is something special about your energy. When I was around you, I could feel this very special vibration, and I understand that you are a very, very humble man, because you always say it's not me, it's the spirit. But, and it is true, but not all mediums and trance healers are, they have that sort of humble attitude. Let me say that to you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean,
I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to when I was young. Yeah, shall I do that?
Please do.
Because you asked me about the history. So, first of all, I'll just quickly address what you were saying about is not me. And I think those of us that have worked within the spiritual environment, we should understand that it isn't us. And I am nothing more than a facilitator. I'm a little bit like a consultant, really, when it comes to healing, in as much as, if I have a recipient that requires healing, then I will ask them what their problems are. okay? And then I will ask the spirit world to send me the most appropriate clinician, doctor, whatever it is that that person requires in order for them to have the healing. And then they do. And so I'm nothing but the connection between the spirit side of life and the earthly side of life. And that's all. I'm nothing but an empty pipe, a conduit, to allow that healing energy from spirit to flow through. So, yes, okay, fine. We need people to have those abilities, but I'm no more special than anybody else.
Of course.
I think the only thing that perhaps makes me able to do that fairly well is the ability for me to compartmentalize and shut my brain down totally.
Mm-hmm.
So when I do my trance healing,
Mm.
I take my head so far out of it that sometimes I'm at risk of snoring and going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've actually felt myself at the
Yeah.
point of going, oh my God, I'm going to snore.
Yeah.
Because I'm that close to
Yes.
sleep. That's how far down
Yeah.
I take my brain waves, to take my head completely out of it. Because the energy which comes from the healing spirit life is in the purest form.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that we do to contaminate it weakens it on its journey.
Yes.
So therefore, we have to be as clear and as pure to allow that purest transition and transmission from spirit to the recipient. Yeah. And with that, we get better results.
And I remember when I did this course with Chris Rutter back in June, you know, I found it very difficult, actually. It's not easy at all. I am a Reiki master, and the energy that you get with the healing through Reiki, the trance healing is completely different from the Reiki, you know. It's like a concerted effort, you know, with the trance healing to be able to actually eliminate any form of thought from your mind. And as you say, to the point of allowing yourself to go so deep to lower those brain vibrations to the lowest. I don't know whether they are the delta one, I believe, which is like the sleeping state, but we still need to be conscious. And the one thing that I found very different with that sort of healing is that while with Reiki, I do get messages and I could feel a spirit, and, you know, it's so different. With trance, actually, it's like a flat sea. So sometimes if calmness, and the recipient of the trance healing just feels these waves of energy and absolute calmness and beauty, you know, and feeling blessed, loved.
Because it's love, isn't it? It's love.
Absolutely.
It's love from the spirit world.
Absolutely.
You know, love to that recipient.
Yes.
And of course, they should feel loved and relaxed. They're being enveloped in that beautiful healing energy.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, we all have, you know, experienced different types of energies, right? So we have energies that it's us moving onto a different planes. And then, you know, in this new age era, we talk about different vibrations and ascending to other dimensions. And you know, there are so many dimensions that go from all the way up to the 10s, 11s. So we're talking about angelic dimension, 11th dimension, extraterrestrial dimensions, and so on and so forth. And as I keep reading about, I was actually reading a bit more into the angelic energy, and angels obviously have never owned a body. Okay, so they are abstract, they cannot be seen, they are pure energy. And then they say that at the same level, there are other type of beings that actually have manifested. We are going into something a bit different, which are talking about extra dimensional beings and Pleiadians and all of that. But as we bring it back down a notch or two, tonight we want to talk a bit about angels, right? And we want to talk about earth angels, because I strongly believe that bumping in someone with the kindness of yours, for instance, because you're such a great gentleman and you're very gentle, energy. And say, for instance, when I bump into someone that vibrates with my same energy, okay, I feel that I'm actually met a star sister or a star brother, and suddenly we can speak the same language because we vibrate the same. What is your, thought about earth angels and people appearing in your life? And, do you recognize yourself like vibrating with certain type of, I would call it tribe, that's the word I'm looking for, with a tribe or not? Because I know you still have your own job, your day job. So you're probably in between the two worlds,
Well, I don't know about belonging to a tribe, to be honest. I've always been somebody that likes to be involved and understanding many facets. So I would never, for example, just be a Reiki master, okay? Because when I started my healing journey, as it turned out to be, I didn't know I was going to be doing healing. That wasn't what I'd planned. In fact, I hadn't planned any of this. It was only back in 2016 when there were a number of life changes and life events going on that I went to see a medium for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And that beautiful lady said to me, during the reading, why don't you do this yourself? And I said, well, what makes you think I can? And she said, because your mother stood behind your shoulder and she's telling me that you can and that you've been able to do it since you're a child. Now, very unfortunately, I watched that medium's funeral yesterday and she passed at a very young age. And you'll hear the emotion in my voice because, life can be cruel sometimes. Her son stood at the rostrum and he said, my mother told me I would hardly recognize anybody in the audience, congregation. There was over 100 people there, I counted. And he said she was right. I hardly knew anybody. So that is the power of spirit that can make you touch other people's lives. And I don't think that there's a particular tribe to belong to, because you'll find people that are spiritual healers, Reiki healers, trance healers, any type of healing that you want to badge it as. But ultimately, it's all healing energy and it all comes from the divine. It all comes from the same place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we tend to do as human beings is go, how can I make this a bit more acceptable to Kate? How can I get Tracy or Jane or someone a little bit more interested in this because they're not really used to spirit type things. I'm going to humanize it. I'm going to do tarot healing. And you just put a human badge upon it to make it more
That's
acceptable
true.
and
That's so true.
and more interesting to, I'm going to say, the general public, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make it less frightening for them, to take
Mm-hmm.
away a little bit of the mystique.
Mm.
I think sometimes, though, there are people that badge their healing in a particular way to make them appear to be better, special, offering something which is unique.
Mm.
But they're not, are they? At the end of the day, the healing comes from that one particular source.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so I don't know a lot about angels other than I've got a good guardian one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean they've kept me alive. So many times have I dodged death through the course of my life through ill health, and they've kept me here. And they've kept me here for a purpose. They've kept me here for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think that you can go through a life. And I remember someone saying to me, well, more than one person, you rarely see a fit medium. And it's my experience is that yeah, most of the mediums have got some illness or they've been through some trauma, and I think that helps them. So I think for me to be a healer, I had a lifetime of obviously mainly breathing issues,
Mm.
and that's you know that's affected other things within my body, but in total, it's enabled me to understand the importance of healing to others.
It's true.
Because when you are struggling to breathe and there's nothing that can be done for you, if someone could go like that and make a magic wand happen for you, you'd grab it, right? With
Yeah.
both hands and
Yeah.
say, thank you so much.
I would.
So, so I think that that's really, really important is that by going through a life having lots of adversity around in
Mm.
terms of health, when it comes to then healing, it helps you to understand and it wants you to really do your best to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to do. I want to do my very best to help heal other people.
Yes.
And when I was told that I could be a medium, do healing, of course I thought, oh, that's okay then. I'm going to learn to give a few messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And won't that be great? Or not? And then when you start to learn how to do it a little bit, and then you get the guidance, and I think, oh my goodness, I
Mm.
don't think I could stand on the platform and do that. But everybody I bumped into said, "Oh, you're a great healer. Your healing energy is unbelievable." I think,
Mm.
what on earth are these people on about? But,
Do you think
but
that the energy that we give away has more to do with the way we work with spirit and the way we like look after our own energy? Do you think like practicing a certain spirit, having spiritual practices in our day-to-day life, or it's purely, God-given in that way?
for me, I treat it slightly differently.
Uh-huh.
When I'm healing, I'm the divine's representative. I'm that conduit, that connector.
Mm-hmm.
During my normal day to day, it's Nigel, it's me.
Yeah,
Um, but I can give it with love if you understand what I mean.
absolutely.
But that comes from me rather
That's
than
your
me going,
human element of the.
yeah, rather than me going, oh, here's something spirit here, take
Of
that,
course. I
you know.
suppose that is a saying about unconditional love that comes through you, and that's you can give what you can from your point of view. We are having also Honey on following us on Facebook saying when we send healing, we always get some healing back. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. And I would say that, you know, I feel that as I'm giving healing to others, I do feel some healing, and my health has actually gradually improved with the healing that I'm doing. So the more I heal, the more I heal. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because some people, even when we connect to spirit and we give messages as mediums, for instance, people ask me, like, but you do the healing, you do the readings, don't you get tired? And I actually feel revived somehow because I'm just a conduit. It's not my own energy that I give. It's like I'm just a channel. And when spirit connects through me, it actually, as you're saying, I get some of that healing. I get some of that connection to spirit. And I mean, it's just like unbelievable that as I do service in a way I give, spirit gives back straight to me by recharging me a little as well, I suppose, right?
Yeah. There is a little of that, that's for sure. However, what I do find when I'm doing trance healing is that I do get tired, but it's almost like a calmness that has totally descended upon me. And it's a calm tiredness, as it were. Yeah. And you have to actually work quite rigidly, making sure that when you are doing trance healing, that you look after yourself appropriately.
Yes.
I can remember in my early days of doing trance healing that I was giving some healing to a very poorly lady, and I needed to get home for an appointment. My healing overrun a little bit, and I came out of trance and came home, and I had two people to meet here, and they asked me, was I okay? Because I looked peculiar in their words. I looked like I was away with the fairies. I looked like I wasn't here. And I'm going, no, I'm here, I'm fine. But actually, what I realized that I hadn't done subsequently, I was actually still partially in trance. And I'd come out too quickly, and I hadn't gone through the transitional period of going from trance back to human, as it were, or being, shall we say, fully awake, for want of a better description. And so as a result of that, although I felt as if I was here, I was still partially in trance. And it wasn't until I spoke to my mentor the next day that I realized the error of my ways, and I reconnected and went back down, and then came back slowly, and then instantaneously I was fine. Funny, isn't it? How we learn.
It is. What would you say to someone that says, I think I should be doing trance?
I'd say the first thing is ask why you've been asked to do trance. I never thought, oh, I'll go off and learn that. When I very first started to learn mediumistic type traits, shall we say, to give messages and connect with the spirit world, right? I saw someone do trance, as in an address in trance. It frightened the life out of me. I didn't like that. I thought that was really weird stuff. And subsequently, something in the back of my head at the time kind of nagged at me and said, yeah, you know what, somehow you're going to be something to do with this. And then through time, obviously, I've ended up now where I find it absolutely amazing. Absolutely
I suppose
amazing.
you've familiarized with that and you understand it from the inside as well, is it?
And it is safe and it's not frightening.
Yes.
But you need to be taught well. And as you say, the energy is so different to our mediumistic energy that, you have to learn to make sure that you get your head out of it. I'll tell you what it was. I'm a Reiki master too. And when you do Reiki, and I don't know how many people we've got here that are able to do Reiki, there must be a few people around.
I'm
But
sure, yes.
when we're taught to do Reiki, right, we go often, or don't ask the recipient what they need. You'll find out. They'll tell you. And you put your hands over, perhaps you scan their body, right? And you, hang on a minute, their knees are a bit dodgy. Let's give them a wall. Let's give them a bit of energy on their knees. Or actually around their tummy, they're a bit, or let's give them a bit of energy over their tummy, right? Trance, no. Uh, the most interesting thing was with the Reiki people, it was don't ask what your recipient needs. When it comes to trance, my mentor, my teacher said, well, you don't go to the doctors and go, hi, doctor, I'm not very well. And the doctor goes, oh, really? What's the matter with you? And you go, guess. You go to the doctor and you say, oh, my left knee hurts. And the doctor goes, let me fix your left knee. Right? And with trance, you can say to people, what is the issue? Then you can ideally 24 hours ahead of time, you connect with spirit, you put the request up there and you say, okay, can you find me, please, connect to the healing ministry.
Yes.
And you ask the healing ministry to go off and find you an expert in healing left knees. Okay.
That is what essentially is different between trance healing and Reiki, because with Reiki, you just, connect with the energies and then you go. Whereas with trance, you need to work a day ahead by connecting the Ministry of Healing, asking for the relevant, healer in spirit to be sent, to be chosen and be sent. So it's much more, I think, from a healer perspective, more kind of thoughtful. You need to think a day ahead. You need to prepare, well ahead. It's not about you, like with Reiki healing, you just show up with your body and you just go with it. So I found this very powerful. And I'm not saying Reiki isn't, but it's just such a different energy with the Reiki. And you will understand what I'm saying because you are a Reiki master too.
And I'm just waiting to be attuned to Reiki teacher level. Okay. So I'm not knocking anything. Don't think I am for a minute.
No,
what I was trying to do is demonstrate the difference between how you react and how with trance you take your head right out of it. Don't think, oh, does their knee hurt?
Yes.
So look, it's a beautiful thing. And I've seen some wonderful results with it.
Yes, of course.
And as regards affiliating yourself with a particular tribe, I just find that I want to heal anybody that I come across that has an issue or a problem.
Yeah.
And I've even been in the supermarket, and I remember seeing a lady who was incredibly disfigured with part of her face missing, and she clearly had a horrible cancer issue. And I kind of remember following her around the supermarket, giving her healing.
Bless you.
I'm not altogether sure that you're supposed to do that, right? But
probably not.
But it was in my early days, and I thought, oh, I just need to try to help this lady, to give her every little bit of fighting effort to heal herself as I can.
Yes, of course.
And I was thinking to myself this morning, knowing that I was coming on this evening, Daniela, to talk, and I was thinking about healing, right? And I was thinking about the fact that when we're born onto the earth plane and we come in as human body, we're as perfect as we can be made. We're innocent and we are pure, and our bodies have just been produced. We're taken out of the mold fresh. The packet has been opened, and here we are presented to the earth. And from that moment onwards, our body starts to decay, degrade, and your DNA is copying itself all the time. And just like those photocopier images that we used to see in the past, if you copy a photocopy, photocopy, a photocopy, eventually the photocopy becomes not very clear. And that's what happens, of course, with our bodies. And as the DNA is copied, the photocopier makes errors. And then we become sick.
Yes.
So,
yes.
That's just one of the ways that we become sick. But I was thinking, isn't it beautiful how we turn up so pure and unsullied? And then as we go on our journey, we have that life of basically, we're on the decline from the moment we arrive, really.
Absolutely.
It's not a great way.
Well, we grow up through childhood, which is a super beautiful experience. And the beautiful thing of when we are born is that we are completely unaffected by what I talked about, being a tribe and having a label, basically. And all we can be just the most beautiful, innocent thing. And, talking about angels and seeing spirit, that's what can happen. Some children can talk about things that sometimes we don't understand. Well, we would, maybe the likes of you and I, but generally parents would struggle to understand what is the child seeing or talking to. Sometimes they can see grandparents, and I've had personally, I met someone in my neighborhood whose child could see grandmother and talk to her all the time. One very interesting comment Hani made on Facebook, she's saying, I am seeing beautiful blue around Nigel.
Oh, look, how lovely.
So, Hani, I understand, because when I was around Nigel, someone else said exactly the same thing. So he seems to be going around with this beautiful blue around himself, a blue cloak, a blue aura. It's wonderful. So it's just a confirmation for Nigel, really, I suppose, for that matter. So I am aware of the time. It's about 8:05. So maybe we could do some mediumship, a couple of maybe readings, short readings, and then maybe we can have Nigel to do a meditation. What do you think, Nigel?
No, I think that's absolutely fine. I was going to say, I don't know how it works for you, Daniela, but do any of your viewers have any questions that they'd like answered?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, then we can, if anyone has a question around anything what we've spoken about so far, before we move on to the mediumship part. So this is like a combo, I would say, that we have not seen before, Daniela plus Nigel. So, so I'm gonna...
There you are, see, I've thrown you a curveball there.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just looking on the Facebook to see...
Because I know sometimes, when you watch these things, you think, oh yeah, that was interesting. I wonder how that works. So I wish I could ask,
yes.
such and such a thing,
Yes.
Kate's nodding.
Kate is nodding.
Quickly, type a question.
So I've got Christine Murray. She's saying, good evening, Daniela, Nigel, and Kate. Good to see you all this evening.
Good evening, Christine.
So we have Emily, but we don't see her, but it's also fine. So, honey, I think I get drawn to you, actually, for a reading, if you're happy to work with me. So actually, I am drawn to offer you a beautiful sapphire crystal. And I think that what I'm hearing Spirit saying is for you, you are developing a you are developing spiritually. Thank you, honey. You are developing spiritually and you are vibrating higher than ever. So I feel that there is a feminine, motherly figure. She is very abundant with her love. And I think that she's also a grandmother. So I believe she would be either your mother or a grandmother that was particularly close to you, and possibly she would have brought you up, or you would have spent a lot of time together with her when you were young. She is showing me making a lot of food from scratch. She would have, she loved to actually do a lot of food. Oh, wow, yes, grandmother. Okay, grandmother, fantastic. And I can see that she would love to tie her hair back. She didn't have excessively long hair, but she would love to do that all the time. And she would love to wear a white apron. And you could see her busy around pots and pans cooking in the kitchen. And one thing in particular that I can see she loved making was jam, homemade jam. So, honey, what she's coming through with is just like that. You have okay, you can take that, thank you. I feel that at the moment she's coming close to you, and I feel that you might have been feeling she loved her aprons. Okay, I feel that you will have felt her energy very strongly around you recently. And I feel that in the past week or so, you would have been in the car driving, doing errands. Perhaps it would have been in the morning, and she would have come to your mind suddenly. Okay, and you've asked her for proof for confirmation of a project that you're working on. So let me know if you can take that. I also feel that you're developing yes, she's close to me, thank you. And I feel that your throat chakra in particular has opened up a lot. And that means that your connection to spirit has become stronger and stronger. And this year, you are realizing how much stronger, you've become. Nigel, can you pick up anything that you would like to add?
No, I'm terrified now.
Bless you. I don't know. I know you don't really do platforms like I do all the time in spiritualist churches. So I've learned to throw myself in,
yeah,
and just trust spirit with the with the messages.
you see, the way I was educated or taught how to do that is very different to how you do it. You say,
of course.
And the only thing that I have as I sit here now that I can see is a gentleman. I'd say he's probably in his 60s, and he stood next to a silver Mercedes car, and this Mercedes car was his pride and joy. And it's got a big silver star on the front of it, and his hair is very thin, but what hair he does have, he's slicked over. A bit of a comb over to kind of cover his receded hairline there. But I'm not sure where he goes, where he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
But as I look at him, he's standing I see the car, and he's stood on the right hand side. He's of average build, and as I say, he's probably in his mid-60s.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of his job was something to do with he used his hands. It's something to do with building. I see him with a hammer in his hand.
Honey's saying he is my friend's father, she's saying.
Oh, right, okay.
She can take
And
that.
I see him, thank you, honey. I see him with this hammer, and I see him working particularly on roofs or around roofing. And he's flattening some things out, and what he's trying to convey with this particular hammer is that the person that he's wanting to send the message to, who is a lady with dark hair, would be the recipient that he's sending the message to. And this particular lady has been going through quite a challenging time. And what he's doing is he's symbolizing with the hammer the fact that things are becoming flattened out. Things are going to become a little smoother. Yeah. The more difficult, challenging times are starting to pass now.
She's saying that you have picked up on her father-in-law with hammer.
Okay, with hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, hammer. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There we are.
So wonderful. Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you very much. And okay, so I think, honey, your grandmother, she always wanted to be at the forefront, so she would be the one to have the last word. Okay, so she wants to say that so you confirmed that you did ask for a confirmation or a proof. Although it was from someone else, she wanted to let you know that it got picked up, so that the other person didn't come through, but she has come through to confirm that for you. Okay, so thank you very much. And
and Daniela, sorry,
go on.
The gentleman's just brought in a birthday cake, so there's a celebration, around honey.
It's beautiful. So, honey, if you can take that as well. So there is a birthday coming up, in whether yourself or someone in your family or very close. And thank you, Christine Marais. She's saying lovely message for you, honey. She's confirming, honey, saying she had confirmation with lucid dream. So thank you, and much love from your grandma as well. Okay, so I got actually for Kate. So Honey's confirming her pup has just had her birthday. So there you go. Thank you, Samantha Jane, as well. Okay, so
hello, Samantha Jane.
So, Kate, I have a young lady now. She would have left ahead of her time. Okay, and I feel that you would have been very close to each other. I feel that she passed, really ahead of her time. I believe that might have been cancer, because I can see her being unwell in hospital. I think she would have been probably in her 30s. And all she wants to show me is a hospital bed, basically. Does that, can you take any of that at all? No?
Kate, would you understand somebody that's much younger than that would wear very pretty blue dresses? No? Somebody that was child age?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we are with you, but
because I have somebody who's they're showing me themselves of around about 9 or 10 years of age, and it's a lady, it's a girl, and she's wearing a very full, I want to say, flouncy dress. How I'm a guy, right? You got to cut me some slack on this. So when you're wearing your dresses, girls, they come down to your waist and then they can go like quite full. Okay, she's wearing something like that, with some very pretty patterns on, and I can see ballet shoes on her. So I have it, I've seen it, so I just offer it to you in case you can understand it. And if you don't understand it now, that's absolutely fine. You may think about it later. All right?
Yeah.
I'll just leave that with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, there is someone from the public as well saying that she can see a little girl around you. So I don't know, Kate, there is something going on around you that has to be, clarified at some point. But the lady that I'm talking about, she's saying to me that she would have been the daughter of a family friend. So I believe it could have been either on your mother's side. So your mother might have had a friend who had a daughter who was unwell, who was ill. So, and you would have known this girl, maybe not very personally. I mean, she did say she was close, but I feel that you would have known of her, even if you don't remember. And this, I feel it would have been possibly about, I hear, 10, 12 years ago. So it's not exactly yesterday. It might be something someone that you might probably not remember clearly. I know that she had her own car that she was driving around, and she was showing me that she worked in a clothes shop, and she loved dressing herself really pretty. But obviously, if you cannot take her, probably, I don't want to carry on, giving you the message if you cannot take it.
Have a look for the piano, Kate. Have a look for the piano.
Piano?
No. Yeah. No.
Mm-mm.
Keyboard? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I told you.
We can only give you what we get, okay?
I told you I'm good at healing, right? Don't ask me for mediumship messages. If you want to be healed, I'm your man, okay?
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. So, okay. So that's, yeah, I mean, I can hear this lady, wanting to give a message, but, it's, I feel that if you have any projects going on, in particular, some development, this lady is saying that, you want to work with young people. Thank you, honey. I'll read that in a moment. That you want to work around young people, and you will be shown how to do that while you carry on. I believe you will be very intuitive yourself. You understand spirit and spirit work, and they want you to continue with that. There might be the chance for you to have to leave a daytime job, possibly, in order to move on to that path, which is more spiritual, and you will be provided with what you need. Okay, never doubt that, because there are times when you feel like you don't know how to do that transition. So, and you've been thinking about that for a while. Okay, so whoever is spirit around, they came forward to just let you know that, to for you to get rid of any doubt that you may not be doing the right thing and how will I get there, okay? You will become very well known as well from what you will be doing. And we are talking from here in the next 3 to 4 years, it will expand considerably. So keep doing what you're doing and trust that it is leading you on the right path, okay?
Thank you. That resonates very much.
Okay, fabulous. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Hani was saying, I just wanted to confirm I'm developing trance mediumship, so you were spot on with, it was me was saying to her, that I was spot on with the throat chakra opening more. Excellent. So now I think it's time for us to move on to the fantastic meditation.
We're going to sleep?
Oh, yes. Why not? At least I think Kate has an American accent, so it might not time for her yet to go to sleep, but it is here in the UK. So the platform is yours, and I will mute and take it away.
Okay. Well, whichever time of the day it is, wherever you are around the world, we're going to have a few moments of peace and quiet, some time of tranquility, some time to restore, some time to heal, some time to rejuvenate. And I want you now to settle yourself nice and quietly, to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath, whatever is comfortable for you, and then exhale, and then another, a little deeper, and exhale, and then another deeper still, and then return your breathing to normal. And as you start to relax, I want you to allow your mind to become empty. There may be thoughts which come into your mind, problems, things you've forgotten, little jobs to do, but just allow them to pass through. We can come back and deal with those later. But for now, this time is for you. And as it's autumn here in the UK, the winter is on its way. I've decided today you're going to find yourself walking down a beautiful country lane. As you walk along this country road, you have hedgerows either side of you. The sun is still shining in the sky, and there is a gentle breeze. You're wrapped up warmly because it is cold, and you can feel the freshness of the air nipping at your nose. You take a deep breath, and you walk slowly but assuredly along the road. As you walk along, you observe what is going on around you, and you see that the sun is gently sinking towards the horizon. There is a gap in the hedge, and you decide to step through that gap and onto the path which leads you into the local wood. It's a large wood stroke forest with trees of every sort of type and description. There are young trees, medium, old and ancient trees within this woodland. And there's all sorts, from fir trees to birch trees to lime trees to oak trees. There's all sorts of beautiful acers, the most wonderful variety. And as you walk into the wood, you notice that the sun is still shining gently through the leaf canopy, but the leaves are gently falling as it is the autumn and the fall. The leaves gently cascade, flitting and flopping like butterflies flying through the air, and you watch them with some sort of mesmerizing calmness as they float gently to the woodland floor. You can hear some birds singing. It's kind of an even song as they're preparing to roost for the evening and to go to sleep for the night. There are still a few birds flitting around, and there are the buzz of some insects. And as you walk slowly along the path, you feel the sponginess of the years of leaf litter that have accumulated beneath your feet. You will occasionally feel a twig snap with the pressure of your weight as you push upon it and continue to walk forwards. You are safe and you are protected. And as you walk on through the wood, you look through the trees and you glimpse the odd animal as it darts through the woodland from tree to tree. It's very calm and it's very serene. You can smell the dampness of the decay of the autumn leaves, and you can feel the chill in the air as the sun dips further towards the horizon. As you look through the darkness of the wood, you see further on in a clearing a glow, a slightly warm orange glow, and you walk slowly towards it. You are drawn towards this light, this warmth, and you find yourself walking along your path until emerging in the distance, you see the shape of a most beautiful log cabin. It is very sturdily built from trees which have fallen or been felled within the wood. It has been robustly and well built, and as you look, you can see the yellow light emanating from the window of the log fire that is within the hearth inside, making the building warm and welcoming. That warm glow of light is furthermore attractive to the fact that there are some beautiful candles in other windows and fairy lights strung across the porch. The garden is fenced off, and you can see the remnants of this summer's beautiful flowers there, waiting for the spring, for them to burst forward with everlasting life again next year. As you approach this log cabin, you walk to the front gate, and as you peer over the gate, you see the footpath which leads you towards the door. There are small fairy lights running along each side of the footpath, directing you from the gate to the porch. It's almost like looking at the runway of an airport. And so you gently undo the catch, open the gate, and step forward onto the path, closing the gate gently behind you. You walk along the path towards the porch. You take a step up, and your hand reaches out for the large, solid oak door. You turn the handle, and the door opens readily, and you feel instinctively drawn to walk inside into the warmth and the welcoming atmosphere that's there. You close the door behind you, and immediately you feel the warmth upon your face. You remove your coat, your shoes or boots, your hat and gloves, should you be wearing them, and hang them on the coat stand at the side of the door. You look around the inside of this log cabin. It's warm. You can smell the freshness of bread and baking, which had been taking place earlier that afternoon. But more importantly, you look towards the hearth where the log fire is burning, and you can see that in a U shape, it is surrounded by comfortable chairs and sofas. You make your choice of seat and make your way towards it, settling yourself down comfortably. And as you relax back into the chair, feel your bottom and your back supported. And you find yourself gazing into the flames of the log fire. And you can feel the warmth from the flames as it penetrates onto you and warms you externally through to your heart. And you can feel, as you sit there with your eyes closed, that your healing guide comes and stands behind you. Your healing guide stands behind you and places their hands upon your shoulders, their hands perhaps upon your head. And as you feel the warmth of the fire making your face glow, you feel the warmth of their healing energy as it cascades through their hands and into your auric field, smoothing your aura, repairing it, and the healing energy penetrating into your very being. You breathe in deeply. Oh, that's just wonderful. You feel yourself, drinking in that healing energy. And you feel it easing your aches and pains. You feel your illnesses and ailments being soothed and removed as that spirit love and healing envelops your body and soothes and calms. Feel that. Feel that positive energy. Feel that love. Feel the goodness that it is doing to you. And you sit and you enjoy. And as time passes, you notice that you are feeling better. You are feeling very calm indeed. Very rested and you feel love. And you are loved, of course. For Spirit loves you unconditionally. So take that healing love and feel it within you. And as your healing guide removes their hands and steps back into the spirit world, you feel the flames of the fire starting to die down. You know that it is time for you to return home, where your comfortable, warm, snuggly bed awaits you. So you rise from your chair and stretching gently, you smile and walk towards your clothes which you've hung up. You redress and prepare yourself to step outside into the cold night air. But it's fine, because you have that warmth, that glow, that love of spirit within your soul and within your body. And as you open the door and step out onto the porch, closing the door quickly behind you, you feel the coldness of the night air nipping at your nose. And you retrace your steps along the path and out of the gate. And as you walk through the wood, you see through the canopy of the leaves the stars of the incredible heaven above us starting to twinkle. And as you come out of the other side of the wood, onto the path, and from the path through the hedge and back onto the road where you started, you look towards the heavens and you see the beautiful clear full moon, which has provided the light for you to find your way back. You see the stars of heaven shining down upon you, and you know that all is well. You know that you will take a positive step forward from this healing session this evening, and that you will, from this day forward, make small baby steps of improvement as you go. And so now, in that sure knowledge that you are being healed, you can take your time to either go to sleep or gradually wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and bring yourself slowly, ever so slowly, back to whence you started. And I leave you with the love of spirit and the healing energy of love to take care of you. Amen.
Well, well. It's good to have a recording here because it was absolutely beautiful and definitely a wonderful meditation to fall asleep. And it's because I'm leading this podcast, I just feel like I had to stay awake. But I would have gone away with the fairies, as the as the saying goes, because it was like really, really calming. And I hope everyone here on live on Facebook as well Christine Murray is saying, such a beautiful healing meditation. Thanks, Nigel. Samantha Jane is saying, so beautiful. Thank you so much. I've missed that. Okay. And a lot of
You're welcome, ladies. It's my pleasure.
Yes. Thank you so much. And so we are coming to the end and to the closing of the evening. I just wanted to say that Lisa Wynne is saying also, beautiful, thank you. Thank you so much, Nigel from Honey. And next week we have the Minister Jackie McGleish with us. Christine Murray is saying, I have missed all these meditations. Christine, I hope that we will be able to have Nigel over a bit more often to benefit from his wonderful meditations that bring so much deep healing. And we all need that all so much. So thank you, Nigel. That was truly wonderful. Truly wonderful.
God bless you all.
Thank you. So I was saying Jackie McLeish will be with us next week. And I am really looking forward to have her on here on the School of Conscious Evolution. Nigel, I hope you will come and join us some other time soon again. It would be truly beautiful, because you see the scope of the School of Conscious Evolution is to do with helping everyone with finding the best way for healing, to work through the issue, be it meditation, being an artist, so spirit artist, music, psychology, and so on and so forth. Every week I bring forward someone that can offer healing and advice from different angles and perspective. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Kate, for having been here. Emily and Nigel, once again, thank you ever so much. God bless you, and thank you, everyone, and good night.